British Prime Minister Theresa May is facing a further uphill battle ahead of a crucial Brexit summit in Brussels tomorrow. May is asking for a 3-month delay to appease the Brexiteer wing of her party, but it appears the European Union is unwilling to grant the extension after she failed to gain the support of Cabinet or of Parliament. Our UK correspondent Olly Barrat joins us now live from London. Olly, good to speak with you. What's the latest at the present moment before, of course, she goes to that European Union summit?
Not looking great at the moment for Theresa May. Just at about the same time that she was setting out in the House of Commons during a Prime Minister's question session, the delay that she would be asking the European Union for through to June the 30th, we were hearing from the European Union that they didn't think that was a very good idea and that they consider that a delay beyond May the 23rd would be very difficult indeed if it's going to be a short delay, because there are European Parliament elections coming up, and the European Union believes that if Britain stays in the European Union beyond May the 23rd, then that gets very complicated indeed, and Britain may have to take part in those European elections later this European summertime. So not, as I say, looking immediately very good for Theresa May. It may well be that she goes to this summit in Brussels on Thursday into Friday asking for this delay, and may come home again Thursday, Friday here in London with absolutely nothing in terms of an agreed delay from the European Union. She says she wants to hold another vote next week on the deal that she's already agreed with Brussels, the Brexit deal that she's already agreed with Brussels, but that can't yet get through the House of Commons. She wants to put that to the House of Commons again next week, so it may well be that she'll be able to return to the European Union in a week or so's time with some other kind of situation on her hands that may lead to a delay being forthcoming from the European Union. But as I say, at the moment things getting very, very complicated indeed. The other crucial point here is that Theresa May in the House of Commons earlier appeared to sound like maybe, just maybe, she was starting to make this a resignation issue. She's faced so many crises in recent months that would normally have led to the resignation of a Prime Minister, but she's always held on. She appeared to be suggesting today that if the delay that she wanted and the Brexit deal she wants don't go through as planned, then that might be the kind of issue that she would step aside over. But not very much clarity coming from Downing Street on whether that was exactly what she was saying.
Now, Olly, how significantly different is this new Brexit deal that she negotiated with the EU?
There is no new Brexit deal that's been negotiated with the European Union. What she is effectively saying is that she'll have further conversations in Brussels this week and then bring her deal again back to the House of Commons next week. But the crucial point here is that the Speaker of the House of Commons, John Bercow, of course, on Monday dropped that bombshell saying she couldn't have a third vote on her Brexit deal unless it was substantially different from the previous one. Now, going on behind the scenes, talks with the DUP party of Northern Ireland, which prop her government up here at Westminster, talks with Brexiteers in her own party, some discussions as well, even with opposition MPs, about measures that perhaps could be tacked on to the Brexit deal that might appease some of them and convince some of them to vote for her Brexit deal. If any of those conversations move forward in a meaningful way in the coming days, and if the European Union has agreed some kind of delay or potential delay to the Brexit process, then perhaps Theresa May can come back to the House of Commons next week and say to the Speaker, John Bercow, look, this is a different situation now. We do need to have another vote. But the bones of the deal itself are not going to be hugely changed in the coming days, in the next week or so, and that's the difficulty for Theresa May, one of the difficulties for Theresa May.
Okay, now, Olly, are we any closer to getting another referendum? How far are we from having to actually take that step?
It's, I think, important to note that almost every situation you can possibly imagine, that you can possibly dream up, remains a possibility, remains on the table. The second referendum is perhaps not top of the list at the moment, because Theresa May and her government say they don't want to hold a second Brexit vote. The leader of the opposition, Labour Party, Jeremy Corbyn, is saying he'd rather have a general election before he has a second EU referendum. There doesn't appear at the moment to be a majority in the House of Commons for a second Brexit referendum, so there are other eventualities that would come before a second Brexit vote. A general election perhaps got slightly more likely again today. As I say, resignation issue, perhaps this is becoming for Theresa May. In the coming week or so, we could see a leadership change at the top of the Conservative Party. There are calls for a much longer Brexit delay than Theresa May is suggesting, and of course no deal remains on the table as well. If the European Union don't grant Theresa May a delay, Britain, as it stands, the default scenario is that it will continue to crash out on the 29th of March unless some new legislation or some new change from the European Union is forthcoming.
Olly, lastly, the opposition, what would they be looking forward to? A short delay or longer delay? Because obviously this plays into their politics a little bit, doesn't it?
It very much does. Jeremy Corbyn, the leader of the opposition Labour Party today, saying he does actually favour a short delay, but what he wants to see happen in the interim is for the government to talk to opposition parties and come up with a different shape of Brexit deal. Now that is almost impossible to see how that would get done in the period of a very short delay, so perhaps not entirely realistic. As I was saying previously, Jeremy Corbyn's true wish here is for a general election in which he believes he might be able to take the keys to Downing Street off Theresa May and head off in an entirely new direction.
All right, Olly Barrat there talking to us live from London. It's going to be another tough week for Theresa May. Actually, the summit tomorrow will actually be tougher as well. We'll see how that works out. Thank you so much.